you here today to the 2014 graduation at the Thompson Child Development Center. This is our largest graduating class, and we are so excited and that all of you are here today to help celebrate with us. When I heard that the theme this year was "Life is a Journey," I thought about my favorite quote, which is, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with just one step." And we want to thank you for sharing the first steps of your children's lives with us and letting us help in molding them and making them the wonderful successes that they are going to be. And so enjoy the day, enjoy the celebration, and thank you again for being part of the Thompson family.
Good morning. Let's give it up for the class of 2014. Okay, I want to welcome you all to TCDC and say a special thank you to you, the parents and guardians and families who have helped to see these children up to this day. I'm going to talk very briefly, but my message I want to impart to you guys is quite clear. These children are more than one thing. Let's stop putting them in a box and leaving them there. They are more than what you see. And what TCDC and TCFF does is see the other side of them. Is read their other stories. And boy, there are stories that we can tell about these children. They're not one thing or another. Please, as we're sending them out into the world with much apprehension, because as much as we do have faith in the world, we also know there's the potential of failing them. We've done our part, and we want to be involved, but we do want the world to know that we're giving them precious jewels, and they need to be handled as such. People will look at them and say, "Oh, these poor children." That's the last adjective we want to be used for our children. Yes, some of their families may be in and out of financial difficulties, but that doesn't by any means make them poor. They are the richest kids I've ever seen in the world. Because poverty or wealth is not measured by financial yardsticks. It's measured by morals, by values, and these children have high morals. They play, they love, they work hard, and I want to tell you about things I've seen throughout this year, because my job is to talk about the year in review. I've seen a boy outside, yes, I said a boy. They were doing jump rope, and this little child, who looked like he could barely even walk, was the one that jumped the most. And that was an eye-opener for me. That was another story about him that I hadn't seen before that. Because this was a quiet child that I didn't even know liked jumping. But he jumped the highest and the longest. Let's try to look for those other stories. Because the risk is, if we look at just one story, that's all we'll see. You get more of what you focus on. Let's focus on the good qualities, the positive qualities that our children have. I've had all sorts of adjectives thrown left, right, and center at our children. But you know what? There's only one adjective I can use to describe TCDC children, and that's rich. They're rich. They're rich in more ways than you can ever even imagine. They are millionaires in the values that Thompson has tried to imbibe into them. These children, there's one that goes into my office with his mom, I'm not lying, almost every day. And the first thing he does is go to my bookshelf and takes any number of books and sits down and just reads and reads and reads and reads. Well, not all of them can read. I've had parents say, "Oh, they're not even reading. They can't even write their names. They're not even writing." Please, that's the last thing you need to worry about. They have their whole lives to read and write, I promise you. The things we concentrate on here are things like diversity. You hear the way I speak. I've been working in centers for 20 years in this country. I've had children ask me, "Why do you speak like that? You speak funny, not once at the center. You know what that tells me? They're so used to hearing people speaking in different ways that it doesn't even matter. What matters is the content of what somebody's saying. They pay attention. What matters is whether that person loves them, whether that person values them as human beings. And that's what we should continue to teach them when they leave here. I'm sending them out with my staff with a heavy heart because I know I taught at CMS. I know I'm not trying to put CMS down, but I know if we try to be too strict, we may lose things in the process. Let's concentrate on the things that matter. So, one more story, I promise you, and then I'll leave. So this child that's well known around the center for hitting, she's about the smartest child in the building in terms of holding a conversation with people, you know, whether it's adults or her colleagues. And most times she's brought to my office, not as a punitive measure, but just to hang out. Because that's when I get to do one-on-one with them. And I love it when this is a different principal's office in here, okay? When they come here, they know they're going to have fun, and they get to talk to Miss Joy. So this child, one day I said to the teachers, let's try to figure out what's going on with her. What is going on? Is it something happening in the home? How can we help? I said, what are the triggers? This is true. This is what this teacher said to me. The only time she lashes out and she goes up and hits people is when she sees that somebody is hitting another person. Is when she sees unfairness. And you know what? That was a light bulb moment. This girl, if we channel that energy into something positive, can grow up to be a Martin Luther King, a Gandhi, somebody who is so conscious of societal ills that she wants to change the world. She's acutely aware of the injustices that man does to men, and she wants to change that. So every time she fights, she's fighting for somebody else. How about we take the time to say, you know, it's okay, I know it's not fair that that child is beating up the other child. Can you put it in writing? Can you go talk to the teacher? Can you tell somebody in authority? So these are just the things. And like I said, I want to thank you all. I want to thank Thompson for giving us this opportunity because there's no other center like this to serve children. We never turn children out. We never say, no, we can't take you. If we have space, you're welcome. Whether you're black or white, rich or poor, able or disabled, whatever. And so we thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve them, and the choice is yours. Are you going to concentrate on the single story, or are you going to look at all the stories that these children bring, the rich stories? Are you going to make them poor, or continue to build on the wealth that we know they have? The choice is yours. Thank you.
Follow Nigel, guys. Follow Nigel. Follow Nigel. Stand up. Stand up. Pay attention. Thank you.